Are you guys ready for some sick Yamaha blaster action? Then stick around because I've got a treat for you guys today. All right, guys, so if you can't tell by the looks from this blaster and also myself, we are extremely muddy. We did get the Yamaha blaster running. I'm gonna show you guys exactly from start to finish what I went through with this thing to get it running. It is currently in its naturally aspirated form. I did not put the turbo on, but we are ready to put the turbo on. So at the end of this video, I will tell you why I'm not putting the turbo on in this video. We can get into details a little bit later, but for now, let's get to work. I've got a lot of work to do to this thing, and I need you guys to stick around to see exactly what's going on. Alright, so originally I thought there was going to be an issue in the crankcase on this Yamaha blaster motor, but let's take a look and I'll show you guys what I did not find. Alright, so if we take a look here, you'll see a little divot right here. I know you can see that. It looks like a screwdriver nicked it or something like that, and then there's another one right here. And so basically I thought one of these would have basically broken and gone into the transmission, causing crankcase basically vacuum to pull air from the transmission, allowing this to lean out. But that is not the case. This looks fine. Everything was sealed fine, and so I don't see any issues here. I'm going to be sealing this back up and putting it back together. So unfortunately, that's not the issue at hand here. I think, and then the piston rings and the cylinder, everything looks great on this. So what I think's going on is we may have just had a carburetor issue where this thing just wasn't pulling in enough fuel, because it did run okay and then it just sort of died out. I did look at the carburetor and I didn't see anything wrong. And other than that, I don't know what else it could be. It's not the electronics. Obviously, we swapped all of that stuff out from the other Yamaha blaster, and I did swap the electronics back to that. The only thing I didn't swap from those two quads was the CDI. So I guess I could try the CDI, but man, I'm going to be kicking myself in the butt if that's actually the issue with this. So let me go ahead and get this sealed back up and into the blaster, and let's go see what happens next. Alright guys, so I have the blaster fully assembled, and I decided to go through the carburetor for the 100th time just to see if there's anything going on. I did finally think I figured out what the heck is going on with this thing, why it would not run, and man, I'm kicking myself for tearing down the entire engine without going through this with a more finer tooth comb. But sometimes these issues can be really difficult to figure out. So let's take a look at what I found. Alright guys, so this looks just like a normal blaster carburetor. However, it is not. It is actually a Banshee left side carburetor, and I'll tell you how I know that. This passage right here on the bottom of the choke actually lets air come in this inside. I think you can see it right in front of the idle screw right there. There's a hole in the tunnel, and that is an open passage for the choke. And so that actually gets a tube that goes to the right side carburetor, and then it allows equalization of the choke between both carburetors. So when that choke's closed, that tube is closed, but the only problem is this isn't actually closed. It's actually wide open. So it's allowing air to get pulled through there and affecting our venturi of the carburetor. With that being said, I think the reason we were able to get it fired up the first time was because it was extremely rich. I was running a very rich main jet, and then I had the choke on, and it did rev up and then cut out, and we thought, you know, it was like a lean pop or something like that. So that would make sense. As soon as this motor got just the tiniest bit of heat in it, it then wanted the extra fuel, but it was too lean, and it was pulling air through and affecting the venturi, and that's why the RPMs were all over the place. So I'm gonna go ahead and block that off for now and see if that makes a difference. All right, so I got the vacuum cap on that side of the choke that is open, and I'm gonna turn the choke on. I've got the fuel hooked up, carburetor's on. Let's give her a first test fire, see if she'll fire up. Oh man. Well, that's better than previously. Alright, but it won't rev up for some reason. I'm going to try swapping the CDI out. Time to investigate. Alright, so I did figure this out off camera. I'll divulge details in a second, but check this out. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, baby, that sounds great. Alright guys, so basically, I think you can see my son's Christmas blaster behind me there. Basically what I did was I took the stator and flywheel off of that. I was about to swap all of the electrical off of it. I did try the CDI, that didn't change anything. It actually would not even run on the OEM CDI. It had to have the Chinese CDI on it. And so I think the way the Chinese stator and CDI are set up, the basically the frequency and the voltage and everything between those are meant to work together. It's not meant to work with OEM equipment. But the flywheel is OEM, which is kind of concerning. So anyways, I changed out the CDI, the stator, and the flywheel for my sons, and the thing fired right up and sounds great. So all of this work, not for nothing, you know, I definitely learned a lot through the process, but we have a lot more to do yet. We have to get the turbo installed, but first, let's take this thing out in the yard, do a quick naturally aspirated ripper, see how she runs. We'll get some ass dyno information off of that, and then we'll bring it back in. We'll slap the turbo kit on, get the box and all that worked out, and we'll get her fired up, see if she can make some boosties, man. So let's get it. All right, guys, we're gonna do a nice little yard ripper here. It's a pretty nice little day out. Here in Pennsylvania, it's like 45, 50 degrees-ish, minus the wind chill factor. So I've got my crap box Honda in the way. We're gonna go up here. We're gonna get this thing warmed up, and then we'll do some little testing, see what we can get in the little 50-footers. Okay, I didn't do anything. I literally just rolled it outside. And I moved this, but oh shit, I unplugged half my CDI. Whoops, that's my fault. All right, well, I should have secured this better, but just for the yard rip, I was like, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. All right, ready? Sounds healthy. We'll just keep it kind of easy until we get it warmed up. Make sure nothing's gonna
so fast it just ripped the front bumper right off, dude. That's hilarious. Oh my god. Oh, it's the only thing that sucks about living in the mountains sometimes, boys. The weather up here. The ground is just super, super wet. Look at this thing. Oh, let's try another one. That was fun, dude. I liked that a lot. Though with that drag stinger on there. Idle's good. Top end pull. This thing just fucking screams. Yeah, baby. Uh-oh. I don't know what that was. That didn't sound very good. Something let loose. I thought the pipe came off. Did that lock up? No. What the hell was that noise? Did we just hit some rocks or what? That scared the bejesus out of me. It's got good compression. Okay. Did we run out of gas? Oh, dude. Oh, no. All right, guys, let me show you what happened real fast. Okay, so your boy forgot red Loctite on the flywheel shaft. And unfortunately, we sheared the keyway, as you can see in there, and also on the crank right there. So unfortunately, I don't have another keyway at the moment. I lost JJ's keyway for his blaster, so I don't have another one to stick in this. I actually have to order 2 more keyways and a stator apparently, because the one off this one was junk. So unfortunately I will not be able to put the turbo on in this week's video, but We will get the turbo on next week, and I will get everything on order so that there is no ifs, ands, or buts or questions, that we will get this thing ripping stat. We will get some good times. We'll get some like 50-foot times, and then that way we can compare the difference and see if it makes boost and see if it actually increases the horsepower without a dyno. So as always, guys, if you enjoyed the content, make sure you give me that like, share, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.